Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Warfare here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. I'm XLJ, the OG, and we've got another exciting episode of Fantasy Warfare today. As you can see, today our guest is my partner in crime from Cold TV, my brother from another mother, Mr. Broll.
How are we doing out there, world? It's a pleasure to be over here on World Championship Wreckage.
And joining us for the first time ever on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. You know him, you love him. He has an amazing YouTube channel, Extreme League Wrestling. How you doing, bro?
Well, sir, you were as kind as ever. Hello, gentlemen. I'm happy to make my debut here. I feel like Lex Luger at the Mall of America. And as a child of the early 2000s, that's one of my few WCW references. Please do not expect more. That is too much pressure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of like making my re-debut because like I did the pro wrestling newbie for a while and then decided to go with a different path, and here pretty soon be on the new show Bound for Impact coming here to World Championship Wreckage.
Cheap plug.
Ooh.
But today, this is going to be a fun one. I think this is an episode a lot of people thought could have been our first episode because today's episode of Fantasy Warfare, we are going to do what every single wrestling fan, boy and girl does in the IWC. Today, we are going to match up the WWE against AEW. That's right. WWE versus AEW today on Fantasy Warfare. I mean, guys, this is going to be right up there with the Monday Night Wars. I mean, obviously, these are the two biggest rival promotions since WW or the WWF against WCW. I think doesn't get much better than this.
Most definitely.
Gentlemen, yes, my nipples are hard. Oh wait a minute, I said that out loud. I'm sorry. I'll hide them.
Well,
gotta keep it PG here on the World Championship.
I'm gonna say here extremely. I hope you came prepared. I drank my smart water, not my dumb water, my smart water. So you're going down.
He's fully hydrated. What does that mean? Hey, if we can talk about like cream pies on the Queen's Court, then I think we can talk about how hard my nipples are. And
what are y'all talking about on Queen's Court? What? Well, B-roll, I will tell you this, sir. While you are a good friend and a good man, much like MJF and Adam Cole at All In, I will do what I have to do to win this warfare here.
This prestigious honor.
The most prestigious honor, and I will be winning this triple B right here. Whatever that version is for this show, I don't know. Maybe someone can make a belt, but
we do need a belt for this show. Dad hat. Just saying, we need a belt for this. All right, just as a reminder, let's run down the rules here of Fantasy Warfare. First of all, Mr. B-Roll and Extreme League have assembled their cards. Their cards will consist of 8 total matches. On that card, you can only have 2 of the gimmick matches. Now, let's clarify. We consider gimmick matches as steel cage or like a street fight or ladder match, etc., etc. But we are not going to consider 3-ways or 4-ways as gimmick matches. So that makes a little interesting concept here for this Fantasy Warfare. Also, you will have to have at least one traditional tag team matchup with traditional tag teams in it, as well as a woman's matchup has to be on this card. And no titles are on the line on these cards. It is all about bragging rights. So that being said, let's get right into it. I feel like, should we flip a coin here? Does anybody want to volunteer as tribute to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
So, are we doing pre-shows? We can
do a pre-show. Well, first off, let me start here. What's the name of your pay-per-view? Yes, it's pay-per-view, not premium live event, damn it.
Name of my pay-per-view is called This Is War. Because I was thinking of that song. This is war. Like I could see the hype package playing in my mind, like with showing all the all the participants.
I like it. So, who's on your pre-show?
Okay, my pre-show's kind of silly. I'll admit it, because I didn't put a lot of thought into this one. It was before I drank my smart water. Cheap plug, cheap plug, cheap plug. Maybe they'll sponsor us. Who knows? My pre-show it's a little shady, not gonna lie, but it's a fun matchup. I'm gonna have the Hardys versus Edge and Christian.
Oh, like a throwback.
Like a throwback.
Although, I
To
guess
get the
technically
people
Edge
going.
is still WWE, but probably not for much longer. But
Hey,
we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
I said it was loosey-goosey. The logic's not necessarily all there, but you know what? It'd be a fun matchup and get the crowd hyped and just kind of some nostalgia a little bit, and big sucker for nostalgia. So
There you go. I can respect it. All right, Extreme League. I got to ask, what's the name of your pay-per-view?
So, it may not be the most original, but it's what I feel like this cross-promotional feud needs, and really a fitting name for it. Just One Night Stand 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One Night Stand 3.
One Night Stand 3.
I'm going to keep it nice and simple.
Electric Boogaloo. No.
I like it.
like
I like
Electric Chubaloo.
Okay, and I am very curious for your pre-show matchup.
So, as we know, there are two gentlemen. There's a gentleman in one company and a gentleman in another company, and the thread that ties them together is the act of fatherhood. Either the neediness to pass upon fatherhood to fatherless children, or having a father that you view wasn't frankly there for you and somehow got you to date a dominatrix and go to prison. My pre-show match is going to be Dominic Mysterio versus Christian Cage.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I fucking love that.
I want to see Mommy give a riptide to Luchasaurus more than I want to see a lot of things in this life.
Dude, that is incredible. Oh my god, that is...
I think I may be screwed.
Yeah, I think you may, because if that's on the pre-show...
I'm coming with the heat, y'all. I'm coming with the heat. I'm just saying. Are we coming to play or are we coming to play?
Damn. Mic drop. This is okay. That's a phenomenal pre-show matchup. Okay, I got an. Okay, well, I forgot to ask you this, gentlemen. I get so excited hearing these matchups. I forget to ask what's the outcome. So who do we got in the Hardys and ENC? Who's winning? B-roll.
Oh, we're supposed to pick who's going over?
Yeah. Uh-oh. I gotta think about that one.
To give you some time, B-roll, I can give you who's going over in mine.
Who's going over in yours?
I believe Dominic Mysterio is more of an ungrateful nuisance of a child, and Christian Cage is a vapid wannabe father figure. So I believe Dominic Mysterio, with the help of the Judgment Day, take down Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
Ah, very nice. All right,
Okay.
B-roll.
And mine will be the reunited team of Edge and Christian.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come right back to you, Extreme League, to see your opening matchup. But in the meantime, B-roll, you may want to go through your card and figure out who is going to win. What's the opener for One Night Stand 3?
So
you already got a classic in that freaking pre-show match.
There's many wrongs that we have to right in the world of professional wrestling whenever we do this. Not only for what we have been robbed of, but what the wrestling world has been robbed of. And I'm sorry. Why the hell did we get the Shield triple threat at a random B pay-per-view? It is opening One Night Stand 3, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Jon Moxley.
Holy shit! Like, that's your opener? Oh my god.
That's the opener. And by the way, the winner, if I may reveal it, or shall I wait?
No. Well, let's go ahead here. How's this outcome?
With Roman down, Seth and John have a small back and forth to where John ends up hitting the paradigm shift onto Seth. Seth rolls out, but as John gets up, speared by Roman Reigns is our winner.
Because I guess the tribal chief, if he ain't going on last, he's going on first. So
Exactly.
I-
Him and
I
Paul
can-
Heyman ain't waiting around. And also, here's the thing if you want to look at it. When each man held the WWE title throughout the night, it was Seth pinning Roman, Dean pinning Seth. Roman has one win over John solely in like the lore of WWE. So it's all really evened up between all three men. And as much as I'm a huge John Moxley mark, shout out to the Rise of John Moxley on my YouTube channel. Roman needs to be the definitive member of the Shield to be, I guess, the best, especially with the past 3 years that he's had. And I feel like this is how he would most definitely stamp that.
That makes sense. Damn, your first two are like barn burners of matchups. B-roll, you got a lot of work ahead of you. What's your opener on this one?
I do. I think I have a solid, great opener though. And it's so funny he had the Shield triple threat because, like we discussed, I almost did that, but it didn't. My opener though is one you could say he is absolute Ricky Starks versus L.A. Knight.
Oh, I see you cooking. I see you cooking.
Damn.
This is our like we're getting the crowd hyped here. We're getting the crowd hyped here, like from LA Knight's entrance. This is gonna be like this is my like two of the most charismatic individuals from like each company, and they're gonna go like what sold me on this one was like kind of like picturing the promo battle, like if they did a promo battle, like
Oh man,
like oh my gosh,
I think I wanna start putting a new thing here, like a nipple meter here on Fantasy Warfare, because my nips are like about 4 inches out, brother. Like holy shit, thinking about that.
Yes, and
Daddy
I also love how he was like talking about like how like the match would end or like the moves in the match. I don't necessarily have one for this one, but I can tell you, LA Knight is going over. The megastar is picking up the win.
I love Ricky, but yeah, I think LA Knight would be.
I do too. But yeah, I think this is just a good, solid, fun, two charismatic individuals. It's going to be entertaining, and
damn, you both are cooking.
Couldn't think of a better opener.
Yeah, these are both pretty solid openers. Okay, I'm going to come right back to you, B-roll. What's match number 2 on your card?
Okay, so much like Extreme League with his opener, we have to finally and definitively determine something. Who is the greatest tag team of all time?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. So in this one, we have a triple threat tag team match with arguably 3 of the best tag teams that have ever done it and that are doing it currently. We have the Usos going up against FTR and the Young Bucks.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Very nice.
That is solid.
I do respect the pick, and something very close to that features in mine later on in the card.
Yes, indeed. I thought about having it be a traditional tag, I won't lie, between the Usos and FTR, but then I kind of thought, like we've technically in the universe we have seen that, so I wanted to throw in the
Young
monkey wrench, if you will, of the Young Bucks. I think this would be a highly entertaining, fast-paced matchup. I love tag team wrestling, so it's no wonder I had picked 3 tag teams because I couldn't narrow it down. But
I mean, I think the only way you can make it even more like cooking. Could you imagine if you made it a 4-way with the New Day?
Yeah,
Ooh,
it was.
Oh.
That was highly considered. I almost had the New Day in a match, but you only gave us 8 matches, sir. And yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit of rant. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. Like, this may have damn near been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life.
Well, that's the beauty of fantasy warfare, man. Like, you can only pick 8. So,
And at the end, I will mention some of my honorable mentions, and
okay.
we will go there. Did I say who went over in this one yet?
No, let's get ready to ask you that. Who's
Okay.
going over?
Okay.
Who is the most dominant tag team in all wrestling?
Now, this can be up for much debate.
I think I already know your answer.
Oh, yeah, you know my answer. This is a largely personal-based answer, but, I mean, honestly, I'm right. So, FTR wins, so there you go.
Hey, it's your show, so yep.
They are the best tag team in the world.
I got to say, your first 2 matches are pretty damn solid, but extremely what is following the fallout from the Shield triple threat?
Now,
I'm scared.
Women's wrestling has been in a very interesting place over the past decade.
Let him cook.
There's 2 women that have done a lot for it that I feel like sometimes don't get the credit they deserve. And to be fair, I've been a critic of both of these women before in the past, but as I grow older, I see the real impact that both of them had. My next match will be Saraya versus Charlotte Flair.
Oh, shit.
There is no current women's wrestling without Paige, period, point blank. And Charlotte and everybody else following Paige in NXT carried that flame very brightly. And while we have had this match before, I feel like with Saraya, with where she is at now in her career, this would be a completely different match than what we've seen from WWE.
And Charlotte, too.
Absolutely.
Damn, dude, that's a hell of a one-on-one. I love it, but I gotta
dig
know.
it.
And I think Saraya should go over here.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like Charlotte Flair's legacy is going to be much like her father's. Like that's kind of I think the plan for the rest of her career is just to be female Ric Flair, and in a good way. That like that's not a
nothing wrong with being female Ric Flair. Yeah,
anything. No. But I feel like for Saraya, it would be more of an emphatic win and a very personal win for not only her but a lot of people who have followed her in her career.
Okay.
Inspirational.
Yeah. And it's like you say, it would be a way different matchup from the first time they met.
It's so fun. It's so funny that when you said like varying opinions on them and like they've done so much but people like I can't remember how you said it exactly. But what you said, I instantly knew Charlotte was in this match. I instantly knew. I didn't know who your other one was going to be, but I knew Charlotte was in it.
Yeah, and really for both of them, I feel like now they're at a point in their career where their legacies are starting to be solidified, especially for Saraya, with just everything that she has done, and also with Charlotte to another degree. But again, like booking and my personal feelings about how both women have been handled in the past few months aside, like to me, like that just makes sense to put on the card.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty solid matchup, man. So I can dig it. All right, extremely. Let's keep that momentum going. What is our third matchup here on One Night Stand 3? You're salivating, I can tell.
You know, many things aren't secure in this life, but you know what is for life? Bullet Club, baby. I am now going to be having, after the Saraya and Charlotte Flair match, the Bullet Club leader 4-way, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Kenny Omega, and Jay White.
Wow.
In a 4-way dance, baby.
Damn. Okay. And I got a feeling, I see the look on B-Roll's face here. Either you were thinking that or you had that match as well. But that's a hell of a 4-way.
No, I was thinking it.
Yeah.
It's his turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to it. So
Yeah.
damn, yeah. This is, I think, in many wrestling fans' mind, a matchup they would love to see. They're salivating to see. The big question is, who the hell wins this one? I mean, both equally. I mean, Finn, obviously the father of Bullet Club to begin with, and you have AJ who took it to like these amazing heights, and then Kenny. I mean, the heights he took it to, and like Jay, gotta give him credit, man. He really kept things afloat. But damn, this is almost. Who the hell wins this one? How's it happen? How's it going down?
So I look at who would need the win more so than who should win, because you can make arguments for all four men emphatically. But personally, for my money and for what this could do for him, especially with the booking that he's had to deal with, I'm so sorry, Mr. B-Roll. It's Finn Balor.
Really? I thought you were going to say Jay White.
I would think Jay White, but to be fair, he's kind of still in Bullet Club, sort of, not really. He, I believe, can build his own legacy. AJ and Kenny have their legacies. I feel like Finn is a little bit before Jay, to where this could really elevate Finn to where we know he could be, like first Universal Championship. That was my whole problem with his match with Seth at SummerSlam, was like I feel like it made Finn look like a joke when he's very much not. And he's actually a very talented wrestler. Like not to rat on the guy, but like I feel like he deserves more in WWE, and I feel like this would be more important because AJ isn't going to get hurt by the win. Kenny isn't going to be hurt by the win, and Jay is at a point in his career where like it's okay for him to eat a big loss. I mean, and then also with how he's booked in AEW and stuff, like he can rebound from it quicker. But I feel like for Finn, he needs a definitive singles win, like a big one, and this would be it for him.
And it'd be how appropriate, because it's like he could be like, listen, none of this would exist if it wasn't for me.
Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
it's the OG leader.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, Extreme League. All right, B-Roll, how you going to top that? What's going to be your third matchup on This Is War?
My third match. Well, first off, I just want to like hold up all my sheets of like my drafts, and I'm not going to hold them too close so you can't see like what some of the matches are, but yeah, like on these two sheets, like on these two, the Bullet Club leaders match, and the Shield 3-way was on it. But man, oh man, great minds think alike. But
yeah, they do.
So I find myself, and this is just personal preference, and I am a sucker for kind of, except for when it comes to tag teams. Love my tag teams. I would almost rather see a great singles match over like a multi-man, like a 3-way or a 4-way, right?
100% agreed. Yeah.
I would almost rather see the one-on-one matchup. And I am not gonna lie. One, this would be an incredible matchup, but this is also completely selfish on my part because it is my favorite wrestler from WWE against my favorite wrestler from AEW. I have Seth freaking Rollins against one Hangman Adam Page.
Not bad.
That's a good one. That's a matchup I did not know I needed to see, but I like it.
You did. And there's going to be a spot in this match near the finish, and I can picture it. Hangman's going to be going for the buckshot. Seth is going to move and somehow trip Hangman and then go off to the ropes and hit the stomp.
Is that the
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Yeah,
Seth goes over.
I love both these guys, but yeah, this stage in the game, I can't see Seth not going over. Yeah, I think Seth would have to win this one. But
And you know Hangman's my guy.
I know. Well, this has been both pretty solid shows so far. We are coming up now on the halfway point. So what's match number 4 on This Is War?
I like it. This honestly may be one of the matches that I'm most excited about on this card.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like this. And honestly, this match is one of the very reasons why a lot of my other ones I wanted to do did not happen. Because in this match, we are going Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dom against
I already know.
House of Black.
I knew it. I knew it.
Battle of the Spooky Boys.
Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews.
I like it. And think about the heat between Buddy Matthews and Dom, man. Oh my God, who does Mommy go with in this one? Holy shit.
I mean.
Damn. I love it.
I thought about including the women in it, but I'm like, man, Rhea is just like Rhea is here, and no disrespect to Julia, but she's kind of here.
That's fair.
That's
fair because Rhea's the best women's wrestler in the world today, in my opinion.
Yeah. Facts.
This is one of my gimmick matches.
We got a gimmick. Okay.
Yes, we're calling it a gimmick as well. Simply, I went with House Rules match.
House Rules.
All right. Fits.
So basically, kind of like a no holds bars.
Let him cook. Okay. No holds barred. I love it. Oh man, dude, I gotta tell you, that nipple meter, it's up to 5 right now. Just saying.
5 nipples.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would like that one.
Damn, that's a good one. I just love like the different storylines there in that matchup. Like plus 2, fuck Malachi against fucking Finn. Yes. Brody going up against Damian Priest. Yeah. And by the way, Dom and Buddy and like the story to be told there. What's gonna Mommy do in the matchup? Mommy gets into it with Julia Hart. There's so many different things going on in this matchup, and I love it, and I'm here for it. But I gotta know who's going over.
Oh, did I not say that yet?
No.
Well,
my nipples were too hard, so you couldn't
hear
the
hard nipples. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
The house always wins.
Oh, interesting. The
Good
House
choice.
of Black.
Good
Okay,
choice.
I respect
my reasoning for that. I size matters. I have like those are some bad mamma jammas in the House of Black. I know I know Dirty Dom is a hardened criminal. But
you do not go against a hardened criminal. I don't care, bro.
I don't
care how spooky you are.
I think Brody would bark at him and Dom may shit his pants. I almost got a spit take there.
You ain't wrong there, dude. Oh man, damn, that's solid. That's solid, bro. All right, Extremely. Can you top that? What's your 4th match?
Gentlemen, WWE is good at one thing, and that is not understanding great technical wrestlers sometimes. I will not say 100%, but sometimes. My next match is going to be also a stipulation match.
Okay.
It will be a 30-man Iron Man match.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 30-minute, not 30 men.
Oh, it's all right. God, can you imagine? 30
a 30-minute Iron Man match between Chad Gable and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
OMG.
I didn't know I needed that.
That is like a hidden gem, I would call. Like, you come out of nowhere.
Nerds are going to be... we will physically make VHS tapes so we can record and trade it, like in the good old days. But yeah,
Tape trading comes back to life, brother.
I mean, it's Gable versus Danielson in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Do you need anything else? At the end, they are tied up, one apiece. Then as Gable has Danielson in a submission, time expires to where we go to sudden death, and they put 5 more minutes back on the clock. And as the timer hits, Danielson gets Gable in the label lock right away because he, is too distraught from almost tapping out Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson picks up the win here.
Okay, 2-1. I like it. So sudden death. Man, dude, yep. My nipples are okay. They're at 5.5 now, I think. That is that matchup I did not know. I love. That's what I love about this show.
It is so tasty.
Stuff I don't even think about, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I need that in my fucking life. Oh my god, I love it. Love it. All right, that's a good one. So you each, at this point, we're halfway through. You each have used one of your gimmick matches. Let's finish out the second half of your cards. Extreme League, I'm coming back to you. What's match number 5 on One Night Stand 3?
Well, these are 2 of my favorite boys for very different reasons. We will be seeing the Ring General Gunther versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, that's a fascinating matchup. But that would deliver.
Oh yeah.
Stylistic wise, it's like so different.
It's giving Pac and OC. It's giving Pac and OC for me. That's why I wanted it.
And it's like the biggest badass in wrestling going against like the chillest guy in all pro wrestling. I see the beginning of it starting off with Gunther standing there, OC doing this. Maybe he throws a couple kicks, and Gunther just chops the living shit out of him. Like it sends Orange Cassidy like outside of the ring. Like
his soul comes out of him.
Yes, it's like tremors. Like it's like a 4.5 on the Richter scale. Yes, and yes.
Indeed. And then the way it is won, Orange Cassidy is going for a dive off the top rope. Gunther slaps him out of the air, puts him in a submission. Orange Cassidy passes out. Gunther's your winner.
Yes. It definitely would be. Man, I love that matchup. See, that's another one. You literally have back-to-back matchups where it's like, I did not realize I needed that. But I feel like that matchup could easily steal the show on your card. It's like one of those ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh, yeah. And I figured it'd be a good reprieve after watching 30 minutes of technical wrestling. Like, it could just be like a high-flying affair versus like a ground guy.
That's incredible. Man, B-roll. You got some tough thing to follow here, tough act to follow. What's match number 5 on your show as we get to the second half of This Is War?
Yes, indeed. But man, oh man, I think I got one for you.
Okay.
This one was tough, but I do feel that these are the women that deserve to be on the card. And it was very hard to narrow it down. But we are going with a fatal 4-way. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter.
Oh, okay. Hate is gonna hate. I like it. Oh man, you get the power matchup between Ripley and Hayter. You get like arguably like the 2 biggest faces of each company with Becky Lynch against Britt Baker.
Yes. And if you would have gave me more matches, these could have been singles matches.
Well, the rules are rules.
I know.
Rules are rules.
Like I said, I swear this was the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life.
Hey, I was lenient and did allow triple threats and 4-ways. I'm just saying. But oh man, like And then finally also getting Ripley and Lynch. Also Baker
Mhm.
against Hayter too. So many combustible elements in this 4-way matchup. But
Yes.
man, and I like the positioning because literally Mommy has to go on right after Judgment Day too.
Yes.
So you put
Yes.
Mommy in a tough spot, just like Dom and Buddy do. Wait a minute, I didn't say that out loud. So that being said, who's winning this 4-way?
You know, you did say Mommy was in a tough spot, but you know what? Mommy thrives when her back is up against the wall.
She
If you
do.
know what I mean.
Yeah, it does. What? So Rhea Ripley obviously is winning this one.
Rhea Ripley is winning. But I mean, this match is good. This match would be largely based off of the moments of like Fatal 4-Ways are, of when you finally get that like one-on-one square off. You get the one-on-one square off with Hayter and Ripley. You get the one-on-one square off with Becky and Rhea Ripley. You get the one-on-one square off with Becky and Britt, and then you get the one-on-one square off with Jamie and Britt. Like,
It's a square off buffet.
it's a square
Endless
off,
possibilities.
endless possibilities, but ultimately, Mommy ends up picking up the win. Yeah,
It's pretty solid.
because that's how it started. Is they were both singles matches, but
Sacrifices had to be made.
sacrifices
And I think in this
had to be
case, it was
made.
for the betterment.
Yes.
Fair.
All right,
True.
all right. You're cooking with gas here. What's match number 6 on your card?
Oh, I'm excited about this one. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Don't leave us hanging, brother.
This is another one of my gimmick matches.
Okay.
And my last gimmick match that I will use because we're
Okay.
only allowed dose. This is a dog collar match.
Oh, already like it.
I arguably, for both of these competitors, they've both been in dog collar matches before, and arguably, it is some of the best matches of their career.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I do too.
This has technically happened before,
Okay, I know exactly where we're going.
but nowhere near on the level that these two competitors are now. MJF versus Cody Rhodes, dog collar match.
In a dog collar match.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay. Both of these arguably the two top stars in both companies right now, I would say, right? The biggest draws, would you say? The biggest, dare we say, the two biggest baby faces at this point in AEW and WWE?
I mean, it writes itself.
It really does. Like
And there's history. And there's history
There's
there.
history, and the fact that it's a dog collar match. There's a lot going on in this matchup. There's a lot to be told. But who is going over in this dog collar war?
I love Cody to death. But man, oh man, nobody is on the level of the devil.
Okay, so MJF over Cody. All right.
Yes, sir.
I can respect that. I love the story here. That's, to me, this is like, yeah, like you said, we've seen it before, but this would be a very compelling story because these are two different men,
Yes.
or like at different points in their careers. Not
I
when
feel
they met
like
the first
this
time.
is my equivalent to his Paige and Charlotte. They're
Yeah,
at different
yeah.
points in their career now.
Yeah, very much so. So, all right, Extreme League. That's going to be a tough one to follow, but can you follow it? What's your 6th match on your card?
6th match on my card is very similar to one Mr. B rolls, but mainly, as much as I love the FTR boys, they will not be involved in this because we've seen FTR versus the Usos, we've seen FTR versus the Young Bucks, but we have never seen the Young Bucks versus the Usos by themselves.
Oh.
And I feel like that is the definitive match to finally find out who is the greatest tag team in the world. And so we can have a body of work of all three existing at one time and go, these three are actively the greatest tag teams of all time, but we need a definitive answer.
Dude, hell yeah. That would be an all-time classic. A wrestling fan's wet dreams. Let's that the nipple meter is up to 7 now.
Ooh,
So we're
taste.
getting bigger and bigger. The question is, who the hell goes over in this one?
The Young Bucks do not need to beat the Usos, but I believe the Usos need to beat the Young Bucks for a lot of reasons. Mainly a lot of wrestling discourse to where I feel like since the Usos have spent a majority of their time in one company, a lot of people either are super into them or they believe that they're overhyped, and I believe that they are legitimately one of the greatest tag teams ever. And as much as I love the Young Bucks, much like FTR, I don't feel like they need this win. But the Usos definitely need the win more. And of course, this is in a world where they're split up they're not split up and it all makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I had that discussion with him as well. It's like
You both did, yeah. Current continuity, we're not taking that into effect. You just have to be signed.
we are
by
taking
WWE.
storylines for the most part out of the equation.
That's right. You either have to be signed by WWE or AEW to qualify.
Who moved the briefcase? We may never know. It's fine.
All right, that's a tough one. That's a hell of an act to follow, but we're getting down to the wire here. These are the matches that sold us on the pay-per-view, and it is semi-main event time, Extreme League. Who is the semi-main event of One Night Stand 3?
You know, I would be remiss if I didn't put the two biggest women in the world of professional wrestling against each other on this card. Rhea Ripley versus Britt Baker.
Oh, shucky ducky, quack, quack. I like it. I like it a lot.
Indeed. And respectfully, Mommy's going over. As much as I love Britt Baker,
I love Britt, but yeah.
Mommy's going over.
And I think Rhea needs it more than Britt. So
Absolutely.
You know.
Britt Baker, I feel like, I don't know her age per se, but I feel like she still has a lot of stories to tell in the world of wrestling. And Rhea Ripley has had so many start-stop pushes to where I feel like this is her moment where we stamp Rhea Ripley as the biggest woman in professional wrestling.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, I totally see Mommy going over, man. Like, yeah. That's pretty damn good, but B-Roll, I'm coming right back to you. It's your semi-main event. Who is going on at number 7?
Now, I put this match here as kind of a breather for the singles matches.
Okay.
Because at one point, I had it MJF Cody, Seth Hangman, and then my main event, which I almost just said. But in traditional pay-per-view fashion, give it a little bit of a cleanse the palate a little bit here.
I think I already know what it is. It's a battle of the giants, Omos versus Paul White, right?
All right.
Well, Captain Insano, but
Captain Insano, I'm sorry.
No. You're kind of close.
Oh, dear God.
You're kind of close.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this big meaty men slapping meaty men?
This is definitely going to be big meaty men slapping big meaty men.
We love some meat.
I love meat.
I have the Blackpool Combat Club consisting of John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio. We don't need that fucking young boy.
Poor Wheeler.
Poor Wheeler. No, I like Wheeler. Going up against the Ring General and Imperium.
Ooh, you're cooking. Dude, I don't look at that as like a rest match. That's a fucking fantasy 101 hell to the yeah.
I mean, yeah,
man.
It is that, but it's the cleanse the palate of the singles one-on-one matches.
Okay, yeah. Damn. I love Gunther, but I don't know if his counterparts could really stand against the BCC, though. Like, so
Yes.
I gotta ask you, who's going over? Do I just answer my question?
I mean, this was tough because this not necessarily tough who was going over, but how to book this. And honestly, it came down to getting people on the card, kind of, sort of. Because I couldn't imagine not having a card like this without having John Moxley on it. But yeah, so I think the Blackpool Combat Club would win because with that threesome, I mean they are very dominant. I think this match would end up being closer than what people think, though, and it's simply because of Gunther's dominance. I honestly I would see the finish of this match of like Gunther being in a like double submission. Like we're talking like ankle lock and Brian's got the label lock or like and like that's like and Gunther passes out.
Okay. I like it. I can respect it. I look at this one as like, okay, all three of the BCC guys testing themselves against Gunther. Like, could you imagine Gunther against Claudio? Yeah. Holy shit.
And I will divulge more after because like when we talk about like honorable mentions.
But that's right. But it is main event time, Mr. B-Roll. What is the main event of This Is War? What is closing out this spectacular pay-per-view? What is the match the fans, the people want to see when it comes to AEW versus the WWE? What do I need in my life?
I think it's one of the go-tos when people talk about this. Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's where you were going.
Respectable.
And once again, going back to looking at the great singles one-on-one matchups, like once in a lifetime type matchups.
That is arguably, I mean, Roman is the face that runs the place, literally, and then you have Kenny Omega, who is pretty much the heart and soul of AEW, one of the EVPs. That is a pretty hard one to top. Oh man, I gotta know like how this goes down. Like, is he able to get the win against our tribal chief? Or I mean, I feel like tribal chief's probably going over, but I gotta know, how does this go down?
Again, this match is going to be a spectacle. It is going to be like Osprey Omega vibes at Tokyo Dome. Like,
wait a minute, in Tokyo Dome. Had to do it once.
That's the best comparison. Like, that's like the equalist I can come to this.
The drama in this, the storytelling being told between these two masters. Oh my God, we're going at least 30 on this one.
Oh,
I could just see the facials from both of these guys, especially Roman, just like, oh, what do I got to do to beat this guy?
Dare I say it? Roman may be the first to kick out of the one-winged angel.
Literally,
that's a mighty big dice roll, sir.
Off. The IWC is going to be at your house wanting to like just choke you the hell out now. You have pissed off the IWC.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, actually.
Yeah.
I think I don't think Kenny is ever going to get he's going to go for it several times, and he's going to go to the well one too many times.
Okay.
And
lots of feet triggers, lots of Superman punches, lots of spear.
Yes. But ultimately, I do think, once again, I will say size matters. Yeah. Roman wins.
Yeah, I can't see. I love both of these guys, but yeah, I can't see Roman losing. I just can't.
And honestly, you thought of an aspect of this that I didn't even think of really though. The facials in this matchup would be
it'd be incredible.
would tell the story.
Yeah, and then you have Kenny in the middle of the ring, like not even like I don't want Kenny to get up for 5 minutes. He's just there exhausted. And then like Roman is like on the outside, like setting down, like, just looking up and like just selling just like how exhausted his body is. And I am for that. I cannot wait to see that.
And if I could ice my cake real quick.
Oh, let's ice that, baby.
In the build-up, the whole premise of this feud or whatever you want to say in the build-up, the promos, what's Roman saying? Acknowledge me, right? Acknowledge me.
I have a perfect again. I've got the perfect ending. I got the perfect ending for you.
Let's see. Let's see if my ending is the same.
Okay, if you have, I'm just salivating thinking about this ending. Go ahead.
So we're gonna be in the ring after Roman wins. Both just exhausted. Roman finally, Roman gets to his feet, has his hand raised and everything. And then he's, talking with Paul Heyman, the wise men. He turns around and Kenny starts to get up. And Kenny starts to do. And Roman stops him. Instead grabs it and they raise their hands together.
Yay.
That's pretty damn good, but I got one even better, I think. Very similar, but I'm going to have like Roman I'm going to have still Kenny on the ground, like kind of in shock, just like exhausted or whatever. And Roman gets on the mic uncharacteristically, and Roman looks at Kenny and says, "I acknowledge you." Drops the mic. Boom!
Something along that lines, definitely. I was like very much like working through that, like.
And like ultimately, it's the classic story of Roman goes over and Kenny gets over. Because I mean, think of how huge. I mean, Kenny. Not that Kenny needs anything else to get him over, but you know what I mean. That would just be the ultimate like seal of approval, so to speak. Damn, that's pretty solid. I mean, that's a IWC fans' wet dream right there.
Yeah, and honestly, on my card, this isn't even the match I would be the most excited for me personally.
But it's like the match on the card, you're like, that has to close it. Like, nothing else could close it. It has to be that matchup. That's pretty damn good, but the ball is in your court, Extreme League. We have come to the main event of One Night Stand 3. What is going to close out this incredible show?
Me and Mr. B-Roll are two great minds that think alike, and he's actually already talked about my main event basically exactly. But I feel like with the place that both of these men are in their careers, I can think of no other match to finish this up to solidify and to define the war that has been happening between WWE and AEW. And that is Cody Rhodes versus MJF in a dog collar match.
Oh, wow. You both had dog collar matches with the same
And that
guys.
is my final stipulation match.
Wow.
So, look, here's the build. Let me sell you on this real quick as the main event. Here's the build. Cody comes out and says, Max, we have our history. Let us let bygones be bygones. And let us have a fair fight. And Max stands there and goes, yeah, totally. I've become a changed man. I have friends now. I've been carrying this company. Let's have our our straight up match 1-on-1 and see how this goes. But then throughout the weeks, more people start attacking Cody Rhodes that MJF is hiring. Because he doesn't care about Cody Rhodes being fresh for the match. He's here to prove a point. That he is not just the same kid that got signed with him when he was an EVP of a company he couldn't get over in. He has now been your AEW World Champion for nearly a year, something Cody Rhodes cannot say to his name. For a company he helped start, but he can be a 15-time World Champion on a title that's been passed around more than... I was going to make a joke about somebody's mom, and then I was like, probably not the best to do. But anyway, MJF can pull that. I can't, brother. Anyway, long story short, he sits there and he tells Cody, this isn't going to be a wrestling match. This isn't going to be a fight. This is going to be a personal vendetta. Because you were one of the first people to bring me in and the first people to belittle me in this business and in this company. And look what I have done that you were too cowardly to do. So you ran off to New York. And Cody simply says, respectfully, sometimes you have to do things in this business that are your personal goals and that what you need to do, Mr. Bidding War of 2024. So I can understand your position if you understand mine. And through your actions, you have besmirched my family name. And that's what I'm going to be walking into when we finally tussle. And as Cody Rhodes is about to hit another crossroads on the MJF towards the end of the match, and Cody has been tempted to stoop to MJF's level, good ROH heel Cody, but he doesn't. He's like, no, that's not me anymore. This is what I'm doing. I'm an upright guy. I'm in the biggest company in the world, and I have to win this the right way because children look up to me now, and I have to hold that, which is very Cody. But as he hesitates, he thinks about it, and he begins to wrap MJF's head with the dog collar chain. He's about to hit a crossroads on him. But he's trying to will himself to do it. That's when MJF slips out from under it, gives him a kick right to the nuts. He then takes the chain and wraps it around Cody's arm, slingshots him over the top rope, and basically does a modified Salt of the Earth armbar as he's on the ground and Cody Rhodes is hanging with his arm, his repaired pec above the top rope. And he has to quit.
Oh my God.
And Maxwell Jacob Freeman finally proves that he is better than Cody Rhodes. And he is better than the WWE. And no matter where he ends up going, decimation will follow because he is Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He's better than you. And you know it.
And no one is on the level
of the devil.
Damn, this may be the toughest one to call.
Can I take that storyline for mine too?
Copy
paste. Your own paper guy.
Well,
honestly,
you put it on like what the third from last, brother.
Well,
sir, I will shake your hand. Good show. Good show.
Good show.
I
mean, honestly, the way I was kind of booking mine, I almost saw mine as kind of like a triple main event of like really like those classic singles matches, just spacing them out of the card.
You see, I went the opposite. I went full Tony Khan and was just like, what's a match you want to see? Yeah, we're going to do that.
I mean, I'm looking at this. It's like, these are both main events that I desperately want to see. Like, the storytelling in Cody and MJF is chef's kiss. Extremely. That's just incredible. Roman versus Kenny. That writes itself. Man, oh man. But extremely, looking at these last three, the Young Bucks against the Usos, Rhea against Britt, and then closing with Cody and MJF, that opener with the Shield 3-way. You've got the 4-way with the Bullet Club. Oh, my God. But, B-Roll, to your credit, I love your opener with Ricky Starks against LA Knight. I mean, and of course, the Usos and FTR. The Young Bucks is incredible. Seth versus Hangman is a match I would love to see. I absolutely love the idea of Judgment Day and House of Black and the stories that can be told there. That women's 4-way is incredible. The BCC against Imperium. This is solid. These are both solid cards. There's not a bad match, there's not even a bathroom break match on either of these cards.
Nope.
Really.
You're rocking a catheter, baby.
Yeah.
Gunther against OC on One Night Stand 3. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn it. This is the position I don't want to be in right now, folks, because
Yeah.
it's so hard to pick.
I mean,
But
honestly, I feel like plug and play. Like if we plugged and played, like combined our pay-per-views,
If we combined our cards, it's done.
it's the perfect pay-per-view.
Yeah.
yeah. When I'm looking at it, you guys are all gonna like, this is gonna be crazy. I didn't think I would narrow it down to like this, but I think I'm siding towards one of you, and it's honestly, it's the match that popped me the most. As good as both these cards are, and they're gonna get my hard-earned money, that Christian Dom match has got me. I gotta go with Extreme League. One Night Stand 3. I gotta give you the victory.
The pre-show. Let's go.
The pre-show did it, brother. Congratulations, my
B-roll.
friend.
B-roll. Good show,
This
sir.
was-
Good show. Good show.
Both were solid. Like, if I'm
Code of
being-
honor. Code of honor. Code of honor.
The story of Cody MJF is more compelling, but as like a greedy, selfish wrestling fan, I would want to see Roman versus Kenny more, and I just love the thought of that finish being, that I acknowledge you. You boys brought it this episode.
I thought you had me on that one. I was like, damn, that's a good main event. I thought you had me.
Darn pre-show. Should have put more thought into it.
That Christian Dom match is just like, I need it in my life. But I got to ask.
In my defense, let me say, I do have Buddy and Dom in a capacity.
That is fair.
You do. So you mentioned some honorable mentions. Let's hear them. I'll start with you, B-Roll.
Okay. I will definitely, I'll give my biggest honorable mention. Which I've named some of them through it. Because honestly, I thought about doing the Shield 3-way as well. I thought about doing the Bullet Club leaders as well. Biggest one that I might regret not doing is Bryan Danielson versus Gunther.
Oh, one-on-one. Damn, that would have been solid. It's hard not to do the Imperium against BCC, but I think I probably would have leaned a little bit heavier on that. But they're both great matches, buddy. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, logic for it was I didn't really, and pay-per-view wise, I didn't really need another singles match.
Plus, you need to get Mox on the card as well.
And I had to get Mox on the card.
Yeah, and Claudio too, respectively. So.
Names that didn't make the card, like Soraya's not on my card.
Well, there's one omitted from both of your cards.
Adam Cole.
That's one, but the one I'm thinking of actually, but I guess it's because he's pretty much faced everybody for both companies, is Chris Jericho wasn't on either of these cards.
Yeah, Jericho for me didn't really pop into my head just because it's like, who could he face?
Yeah,
and I don't really have an answer. And not to say
I got one for you.
I
got one for you. I think this would be money. How about Chris Jericho 1-on-1 against LA Knight?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other? Go ahead.
Yeah, another one I tossed around, and it just came down to like not enough room on the card. Was Brock Lesnar in a triple threat with Wardlow and Samoa Joe.
Oh, okay.
Not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah. I like it. Anytime we're getting big, meaty men.
Slapping that meat.
Yep. You got any others that you would like to mention?
I thought about doing Austin Theory and Adam Cole.
That would be a good one.
Wouldn't be bad.
What about you, Extreme Lead? Do you have any honorable mentions?
Honestly, I didn't. I tried not to overthink the card. I had a couple that kind of popped into my head, but nothing of like it's different combinations of the ones that I just said.
Oh.
At first, I solely had it as like the Bullet Club leader match. I originally had it as a 3-way, and then I was like, oh wait, no, Jay White's in AEW now. Yeah, so just make it a 4-way.
Yeah. I mean, I completely overthought everything, literally. One other one that I did have the Outcast versus Damage Control.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's not bad.
That's one
That's
I
a
didn't
good one.
think of.
That's a solid one. I can respect the shit out of that,
Oh,
brother.
sorry. I just thought of another one that was on there as well.
What was that?
Now, keep in mind, this is injury-free world, but a trios match of the Acclaimed versus the New Day.
There you go.
Oh, baby, that's a good one too. Oh, solid, man. Solid.
Needed more than 8 matches, let me tell you.
Extreme League, was there any you want to mention?
No, not really. I kind of tried to keep mine as trim as possible. That's why, like, even I told you, I was like, hey, if like I don't want to admit the pre-show one, but if I have to, cool. But I'm glad I got to use it. But
it was the deciding factor. That was the deciding factor in this episode of Fantasy Warfare. It just goes to show you, folks, when you're booking your fantasy cards, we're talking top to bottom, and that pre-show counts because that's going to be what drags people in to spend all of that money.
Daddy issues is the most profitable thing in the world, people.
That's right.
Damn straight.
If we've learned anything today.
You know what I wish I would have thought of? Because I really, full disclaimer, I did not put much thought into my pre-show. Didn't even know we were necessarily actually putting on a pre-show.
Brother, you got to get people to watch the show.
I should have put New Day versus the Acclaimed as the pre-show match. That would have been a good pre-show
There you
match.
go, yeah.
Honestly, that would have been more compelling, I think. No disrespect to Edge and Christian and the Hardys, but yeah. Yep. Well, gentlemen, this has been a tremendous episode. And once again, another classic here on Fantasy Warfare. But as we close out this episode, Extreme League, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
It's Extreme League Wrestling everywhere, guys. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, MySpace, whatever. It's that. Wherever you want to go, I would highly appreciate some support on the YouTube channel. We're coming out with new content every single week, and I want to thank you guys for having me on World Championship Wreckage, and I'm so happy to be making my debut here.
Yeah, and Mr. B-Roll, why don't you tell us where we can find your beautiful facade?
Normally with you, but over on a little channel called Cole TV. Definitely would appreciate all the likes and subscribes over there. I mean, subscribe to all of it. Subscribe to World Championship Wreckage. Go over to Extreme League's page. Subscribe there. And subscribe over on Cole TV. We got you covered, baby. We got you covered. Pretty much on all social medias. Literally just Mr. B-Roll. You can find me under that. Except on Facebook, because that's under my shoot name, and I'm not giving that out on the internet.
No. That's right. Yes, and like Mr. B-Roll says, you can catch him every week on Cole TV. Of course, you can catch us for PW60, or now I would say flagship show of Cole TV, where we talk about everything that happens in the world of professional wrestling in 60 minutes. Of course, you can see our good friend Extreme League on there, too, with the 5 count, because he's got till 5, pal.
Got till 5, pal.
That's right. Well, and like B-Roll says, we encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button here because there's so much tremendous content here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. But boys, you have done a phenomenal job on this episode, and it's going to be hard to top on the next episode of Fantasy Warfare, but I can't wait to see where we go from there. But gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And as always, we'll see you at the matches, folks. That's wrapping it up for this episode of Fantasy Warfare. See ya.